So yeah, you can see that word's out. Got ourselves a little Hooverville here. Look at it all. Look at all the people. All the shanties. Get a kick out of that. Yeah, he's not as big as I thought he was going to be. The way he came flying up. Back. Poor guy. How aggressive he was. Well, I have to go ultra finesse here. Huh? Actually, pretty nice fish. Yeah. I'll keep him. That's keeper. 2mm jig, waxy, and 2-pound test line. It's like my bayonet. It's the last one. It's just the last line of defense here. Here comes one. All right, come on. Come on. Look at this. Okay, he's good fish, good size, good eater size. 10. Okay. No. He's long, but not much meat. Not as much meat as I would like. Let's see. Yeah, they're down there. Let's keep going here. It doesn't feel nice. It's not that big. That's why. Get pecking at it and stuff. Well, that's... I might measure him. He's actually, I don't know, might be a little short, but we'll check him and bump him. I guess you can call it bumping. There we go. Come on. Tempting. Yeah, thought he was a lot bigger than that. Really? I thought he was big. He felt bigger than that. That's a decent fish, but a lot bigger than that. Yeah, I think he's that big. No, he's not as big as I thought he was. But, yeah. Okay. got some length on it. It's a white crappie. Yeah, just not much. That's a good probably 11, but not just not much thickness on it though. These fish hit so hard and then they just aren't as big as I think they feel. Oh, these white crappies here. When they come up like that, they always feel like they're so much bigger. So yeah, now it's a few days later and pretty much all the ice is gone, right? It's been that kind of winter, right? We get we get a few days of cold, things lock up, freeze up, and then next thing you know, we get rain or a warm up and it just all goes out the window. So it's definitely one of the worst ice seasons in recent memory, or probably ever really, but making the most of it while I can. As you can see, caught a bunch of nice crappies, lots of numbers, nothing really gigantic, but plenty of good size. To the extent that on Sayers Dam, they actually changed the crappie regulations a few years back. It used to be you could keep any 9 inches or above, 9 inches. I think it was either 20 or 25 fish. I don't remember which, but they actually changed that because there were just so many. At the time, you could sit in one spot and catch 100 fish that were 8 3/4 inches, and they actually ended up changing that to you can keep 10 crappie total. You can keep 5 over 9 inches and 5 under, so it's kind of a slot limit. And I mean, honestly, for the first time ever, I caught my 5 over 9, and I was actually struggling to find fish that were under 9 to keep. So got that going for us, and it's a pretty good sign for the fishery. Also, I actually saw 2 guys go in. They fell in, and it just shows you that no body of water freezes uniformly, and there's no such thing as safe ice, right? I like to call it fishable ice. You want, as a rule of thumb, you want about 4 inches of good, clear, blue ice, hard stuff, not just a little bit of frozen snow or white ice or gray ice that's thawed and refrozen, or as they call it, honeycombed ice. But yeah, I was kind of walking back into the Hunter's Run cut there a bit, and I heard, all of a sudden I hear, "Dude, get the F away from there," and I see this guy kicking his legs and getting out. Then another guy kind of just kept walking and walking, a little kind of off the beaten path, and the next thing you know, he's in as well, fortunately. I guess his buddy had a rope and pulled him out, and then his other buddy kind of crawled over and got his sled. So I did not get any footage of them, just because I didn't have the camera on, and I wasn't going to post that anyway, because they obviously, I can just about guarantee that if I did that every
self-proclaimed internet renegade, and as I call them, internet Jesuses, would probably go and start, publicly berating them or harassing them or whatever and saying what idiots they were. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and hopefully they learn from it. And they just don't deserve that, right? But yeah, just you got to be careful when you're going out and just check. I was fortunate enough that was on Martin Luther King Day, actually. It was Monday, January 15th, 2024. I was actually out there checking. I actually drove over and I was checking the ice, and the main sheet had kind of started forming just because that area of the lake is so protected and out of the wind. And then Saturday it was good to go, but kind of if you stayed on where that main sheet formed, you had plenty of ice and you were fine. But going back in, it was very dicey, and that's where the incidents that I know of occurred. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Just check for yourself. Use a spud bar. Check the thickness, and when in doubt, don't go out. Right? It's it's just common sense, but at the same time, you don't want to let any negative thoughts really get in your head that are gonna interfere with your good time. And if they are, it's probably not safe to be out there. It's just one of those gut feel things. Anyway, it was actually, for sayers, it was actually a tough bite because I was seeing a lot of fish on my live scope that would come through, and strangely enough, a lot of times they wouldn't even acknowledge my bait. Like usually you put a bait over a fish when you see it on live scope, and it'll at least come up and look. It might not hit it all the time. It might kind of just peck at it. It might turn away, or it might just not bite. But there were times when they were swimming by and not even looking at it. So obviously that, combined with all the pressure in the area, all those shanties, they were very pressured fish. So key was to really be switching up your baits, on a consistent basis. And I actually, the more productive baits for me included the Euro Tackle Z-Vibe Micro. I use it in chartreuse there. It's kind of one of my, it's a very small lipless crankbait, and I think it's about an inch and a quarter, and you basically just, you jig it and it rattles a bit. And I like to tip it with a Gulp minnow head, or even some waxies, whatever I have on hand, just for a little bit added extra attraction and scent. So they were hitting that. I was using a Wonder Bread jig with a Wonder Bread tungsten jig, Titan tungsten, with a BC Baits stinger tail. It was a blue color. They were eating that as well pretty well. And kind of my last, as I said in the video, or I think I said it rather, a 2mm tungsten jig on 2-pound line on an inline reel setup with just live bait, just waxies. I consider kind of my bayonet. It's like my last line of defense. But when they get ultra finicky, that's kind of what you need to go to. And it's also kind of, I consider it, if I'm fishing, it's like a mop-up bait. If they stop eating for a while and they kind of become weary of my presence, I'm going to switch over to something like that. So that worked out as well, very, very well. But yeah, it was just, it was a matter of just switching the baits and kind of rotating and cycling through them consistently to kind of give them, once you caught a few on a bait, they would kind of be weary of it, and you would just need to switch to something else. But unfortunately, can't control the weather, so kind of just taking the ice season as it comes here. I know it's not exactly ideal. It kind of is what it is, and just kind of playing it on a we'll see basis, see what happens with the weather, and kind of take it from there. But I want to thank you for watching. Hope this was informative. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, please follow my other social media platforms. Links are down in the description. Or if you're not convinced or want to think about it some more, here's some other videos I think you would enjoy. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.